Good evening, yogis. Sarah here, and welcome to this cozy bedtime yoga practice in which we'll focus on 60 poses to help us prepare for a better night's sleep. Together, we'll hold each pose for up to 2 minutes, so I encourage you to bring along a pillow and a blanket for added comfort and relaxation. We'll begin today's practice sitting towards the back of our mat, bringing our big toes to touch, knees comfortably wide apart, and setting our hips towards our heels. If you have a pillow or a bolster, we'll bring it into the center of our body and rest down onto our left ear, allowing the forearms to rest heavy on the mat, and beginning to close the eyes or bring a soft gaze as we rest into our supported child's pose. Beginning to bring our focus to our breath. We'll begin to deepen the inhale as we inhale to a count of 4. Hold for a count of 1. And exhale to a count of 4. Inhaling fully to the bottom of the belly. And release any effort on the exhale. Allowing your shoulders to soften. And letting go of any effort. Inviting ease down through the body. Inhale fully. And on the exhale, we'll gently come out of the pose. We'll slide our pillow or bolster out a little bit in front of us. We're going to come into frog pose from here. So we'll walk our knees further apart. We want to keep our ankles in line under our knees, and then begin to rest our chest down onto our prop. This time resting onto the right ear and beginning to melt and soften into the hips. If you need to bring more pillows or cushions for added support, please do. We want to keep these poses as restorative as possible. Relaxing every muscle in the body. Releasing tension. Releasing any stress, any strain. Out through each exhale. As you hold this pose for a few breaths, you might notice the hips begin to release closer towards the ground. Just notice the body beginning to release and open. Noticing the pull of gravity, the effect this pose has within your body. We'll gently begin to come out of the pose, planting the hands on the mat, pressing yourselves back up. And from here, we're just going to swing our legs out towards the side. Bring our legs out in front of us. We can place the prop off to one side to set ourselves up for butterfly. So bring the soles of our feet to touch, drop the knees heavy, and we'll bring our prop and rest it towards the inside of our legs. Sitting up nice and tall to begin with, and then we'll take a fold, allowing our forehead to rest heavy on the pillow, allowing our arms to hang heavy alongside the body. Palms facing up to resist the urge from pulling ourselves deeper into the pose. We're allowing our body to naturally release and sink deeper. Relax through the muscles in the face. Soften through the eyebrows. Soften through the jaw. And soften through the shoulders. If your mind begins to drift and wander, return your awareness to your breath. Inhaling to the count of 4, pausing for 1, and exhaling to a count of 4. And we'll gently release out of the pose, nice and slowly, sitting up nice and tall. From here, we're going to bring ourselves into supported deer with a twist. So stay as you are, with the soles of the feet pressing together, knees hanging heavy. We're going to bring our right leg behind us and plant the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right leg. We want to keep the right ankle in line under the knee, and we bring our pillow or a bolster towards our left hip as we begin to lock over the prop, walk our hands forward and rest down onto the right ear. Allowing the arms to rest heavy, allowing the hips to rest towards the ground. Not to worry if the right hip peels away from the mat. Beginning to relax into the body. Relaxing into the twist. Soften and let go of the muscles so we can work deeper into our connective tissues and prepare ourselves for sleep. Noticing the thoughts running through your mind. Just notice them as they drift by, not holding on to anything. Just notice what you notice and let it float on by. We'll gently and softly begin to bring ourselves out of our pose, sitting up nice and tall, coming back through center, and we'll set ourselves up for the other side. Bringing our right leg out, coming back into butterfly to begin with. We'll bring our left leg this time behind us and rest the sole of the right foot towards the inside of the left leg. Placing our bolster towards the right hip, looking over to the right as we walk our hands down, resting onto the right ear. And release and soften and let go. Maybe closing the eyes or bringing a soft gaze. Soften every muscle in your body. Scanning down to your body, noticing if there's anywhere that you can release a little bit more. Releasing the muscles in the belly. Soften through the hips. And down towards the toes. And we'll make our way out of this pose. Bring yourselves back up, nice and gently. And from here, we're going to make our way down onto our backs into Supta Baddha Konasana. So we'll place, once again, the pillow or the bolster towards the center of our back, down towards our spine, making sure we have support for the head. We'll bring the soles of the feet to touch, drop the knees heavy. The arms can stay resting alongside the body, or if you have the opening through your chest and your shoulders, you could bring the arms up and overhead, maybe taking hold of opposite hand, and beginning to relax and completely melt. Getting a wonderful opening all through the front of the body, through our heart space, down into our hips. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Noticing the rise and fall with each breath. Noticing the sense of peace that you've created within your body and mind. Relaxing through the body. Gently begin to bring your arms alongside the body if they're not already there. We'll bring our knees back to center. Gently bring ourselves away from the prop and we'll roll it over towards one side and bring ourselves down onto our mat as we make our way into our final resting pose, Shavasana. Taking up as much space in the mat as you need. Palms facing up and shoulders nestled into the body. Closing the eyes and begin to completely let go. This is your time for you to get as comfortable as you need. Relaxing through the body. Relaxing through the mind. And this is where I'll leave you for today. I encourage you to stay here as long as you can. So thank you very much for joining me, and have a wonderful night's sleep. Namaste.